You have successfully joined the webcast. Please stand by. The meeting will begin shortly. You have successfully joined the webcast. Please stand by. The meeting will begin shortly. You have successfully joined the webcast. Please stand by. The meeting will begin shortly. You have successfully joined the webcast. Please stand by. The meeting will begin shortly. You have successfully joined the webcast. Please stand by. The meeting will begin shortly. You have successfully joined the webcast. Please stand by. The meeting will begin shortly. You have successfully joined the webcast. Please stand by. The meeting will begin shortly.
Morning, everyone. I want to thank Debbie Royce for her help again, putting this meeting together, and Brittany here, making sure everything is documented. And I would like to thank my board members for joining us today. We have a full board, which is wonderful. We have Sam Capitano, Brian Whitman, representing Byron Brown, our mayor of the city, is Brian Griffith. We have Dan Castle representing the county of Erie, and Shatora Robertson, Leslie Zemsky, Constance Linden, and Eric Reich, and our president, Mark Wendell, who does an amazing job for us. I now call the order of this meeting to call it together, and of directors of the Erie Canal Harbor Development Corporation for Monday, September 9th, 2024. I'd like to note for the record that this meeting is being webcast. We welcome public comment on today's agenda. And I will note for the record that the public was given the opportunity to comment on the agenda items by submitting their written comments by 9 a.m. today. And I'd like to state for the record that no comments were received from the public concerning today's agenda items. I also note that we do not have members of the public attending today's meeting. The directors have received the relevant written material in advance of today's meeting and are free to ask questions at any time. Before we begin with the substance portion of the meeting, I would like to ask the directors whether anyone has any potential conflict of interest with respect to the agenda items. If so, I would ask you to please make an appropriate disclosure on the record at this time. We will be sure that you may recuse yourself from any discussion or vote regarding the items. Okay. Hearing none. Our first order of business is approval of the minutes of the directors' meeting of March 11th, 2024 and May 20th, 2024. Approval of the meetings.
Well, I just have to note for the record, the draft notes we received, both were labeled March 11th, 2024. So the second minutes of May 20th in the heading should be noted also as May 20th, 2024.
Any questions, comments, additions, deletions, or any other issues? No? If not, I will entertain a motion for approval of both sets.
I'll make that motion.
Thank you. All right, Brian. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you. The motion carries. Now I'd like to call on Mark Wendell, ECHDC's president, to present the final item on today's agenda, a request for authorization for the corporation to amend its utility easement with the Niagara Mohawk Power Corporation in connection with the Buffalo Outer Harbor project. Mark, when you're ready.
Thank you, Chair Kesner. As mentioned, that we currently have a construction project underway at Wilkinson Point, and it's in progress. This action item is to provide National Grid with an easement to the transformer required to provide electric service to that new construction. We did get an appraisal. The appraised easement that was granted is about $14,000 for the slightly over 1,000 square feet of property that this will have, National Grid will have access to. We had to work with National Grid to find the right location to make sure service was at a high quality instead of too, low. That's why if you look at the plan, the transformer is set a little bit further in sight because the building that we are constructing is a little bit further in sight as well. So with this, we had the lead agency complete an environmental review, and as this is just a transformer, we reviewed the amended negative declaration and supporting materials, and it concurs that there is no significant effect on the environment with the location of this transformer. So based on the foregoing, the directors are requested to authorize the corporation to grant an easement to the Niagara Mohawk Power Corporation as described in these materials and take all related actions.
Thank you, Mark. Are there any questions or comments from the directors with regard to this item?
I just have one small thing. Sorry, this is nitpicky. On page 2,
To speak up.
on page 2, subsection 3, point number 3, the very last line, it just refers to this as the Canal side project.
Oh, great.
I saw that.
I'm not sure.
This should be referred to as a Buffalo Outer Harbor project.
Okay.
So in the third paragraph at the last sentence should be changed to a Buffalo Outer Harbor project.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. Any other concerns? Okay, as noted earlier, we do not have any comments from the public. With regard to this item, I will entertain a motion for approval. So moved. Who was it, Leslie? Second?
I'll second.
All right, Aaron, thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you. The motion carries, and I want to thank everyone for your participation in today's meeting.
Joe, I have one clarification at the issue for
Okay.
today. Apologize for this.
Okay.
At our November 13th, 2023 board meeting, we approved the public space management agreement. In the board materials, there was a paragraph that mentioned that the conclusion date was May 31st, 2031. It is March 31st, 2031. That was corrected in all the signed contracts. It was in most of the paragraphs, but I just wanted to clarify that, as we noted in the previous thing, in one paragraph, it said May 31st. I just want to make sure it's noted that the correct for that term contract is March 31st, 2031 for a conclusion date.
Okay, do we need a motion to approve that? Just a correction, okay?
No, you don't. You're okay.
All right. I always look for any other comments before we conclude the meeting. Now, there be no further business. May I have a motion to adjourn this meeting?
Motion?
Second, Sam, thank you. Everybody enjoy this nice cool day today.